Hello, everyone. I have returned. It took a little bit longer than anticipated, but I made it back in. So, good news. Hopefully, everyone is doing well and been enjoying EverQuesting during my absence. I see that Calthea is on in our guild and about to do some crafting, she says. So that's, always a good thing to get a little bit of crafting knocked out here and there, right? I am looking around, hoping to find a shiny in this area, and faint hope of it being a striped red ant. Unlikely, but hey, you know what? You will never be able to get one if you don't give it a shot. So here I am, giving it a shot. Well, thank you, ShadowsRat. What have you been up to during my absence? Getting some of that crafting done yourself, I think, right? And there's my shiny right over here. That is far from a striped red ant. It is an unscathed trollbone. I mean, no complaints. A shiny's a shiny, but it would be nice to get that update. Shinies can equal coins. They can actually, for me, they can also just kind of equal benefit for my guildmates because we have a collectibles depot in the guild house that we have. And so a lot of my shinies end up going into there to sort of assist other people. But that's okay. It works either way. I also have a lot listed on the broker, so it's just sort of depends on what it is, really, more than anything. Yeah, I mean, I would always rather help out guildmates than get the coin, although I can also help out guildmates with coins, so it's sort of, either way is sufficient. Ooh, I have a turn in and I almost ran off on the griffin before I realized it. Ah, that looks like the last of his repeatables. It's actually interesting at this point that they call them repeatables because repeatable used to mean that it was repeatable basically infinitely. Now there's a cap on the number of times that you can repeat your repeatable. Seems kind of counterintuitive, especially when the repeatable in question gives a different quest. Like maybe once it's hunting centaurs, the next time it's hunting snakes, and then it's hunting giants. So it's not even giving you the same things to go after. So the only thing repeatable about it is the name of the quest, because it will then stop being repeatable after I think around 5 repetitions is where we're at. I'm not sure how many per guy. That was proper Borgus, I believe, for that one, so I'm not sure how many his was. At any rate, his repeatable is completed currently. And I'm going to stop and grab these windswept stones because, hey, palladium never hurt anybody. So I was just watching the trailer for the Echoes of Faydwer when it originally came out. And I gotta say, I mean, it wasn't that impressive. I remember not being especially excited about the Echoes of Faydwer, and then being disappointed by it. In spite of in spite of my somewhat low hopes for it, I still managed to didn't enjoy it. I know a lot of people did. Um, there were at the time a lot of people who were very impressed with the Echoes of Faydwer. I was not interested in playing the fairy. And then I was also, the disappointment came whenever I discovered that in order to go to the main city over there, Calthea, you had to ride up an acorn, which was difficult for me to locate. It's the only way, well, it's okay, it's not actually the only way, and you can actually also run up a log there at a certain area. But at that time, it was the only way I had initially found to get up into that into Calthea. And then because I am me, I almost immediately fell off. So, good news. I'm kind of, clumsy a bit, and so there I went down to my death because at that time I was not playing on a scout. In fact, I think when Calthea came out that I was playing on my guardian. And my guardian falls kind of like rocks, It's went over like a lead zeppelin, And that was annoying. I had the same experience when the Dark Light Woods area over there came out with Neriak, I believe, and it has a pit that you can fall into. And I believe I had gone over there when it first came out, and I'm running along minding my own business, and I think I probably put it on auto run and walked away, and then came back dead to my great surprise, because at that time I was really not used to just, having something terrible to die from within the city itself. This is what happens when you play Canosians mostly. There are ways that you can die in Kinos, but it would require for you to pretty much go underwater and then drown. Or if you were low level and decided to attack a guard, that could help you to your ultimate demise pretty quickly as well. But just sticking something on auto run isn't likely to lead you to the afterlife in EverQuest, in the Kinos part. So I was very surprised that I had fallen in, like, I don't know, a pit of spikes or something lovely like that. And was dead when I returned. So that was a little bit frustrating as well. Not a fan of being able to die in the newbie zones. And I don't mean in the newbie zones, but in the newbie town, where I feel like you should be kind of safe, free to run around without fear of dying in a pit of spikes. But same thing with Kelvin. Obviously, it's clear enough that you can't set your guy on auto run in Kelvin. There's no, you know, no reason to believe that you would be able to. I think that was the tricky part about Neriak, is that I didn't realize that there would be a pit to fall into there. Turns out there is. Oh, hey, I see you on there, ShadowsRat. How you doing? Oh, an offer. Oh my goodness, what do you have here? Oh, thank you. I don't need that one though. I need the striped red, but thank you. Do you need any of these while I'm here? Unscathed dark elf bone fragment or an unscathed troll bone fragment? Here, hold on, I'll show them to you. Because I have both of those. No? Oh yeah, no problem. I have a number of, well, I think those may be the only ones currently in my bags, but I've been running around here trying desperately to get this silly ant for some time. What's funny is before, when I was doing this quest on another character, I remember that I had kind of stopped consciously looking for it and was minding my own business going along, and I found the striped red ant, and I still needed it for my collection, so I didn't even think about the quest, and I added it to my collection, and then realized, oh no, that quest dinged whenever I got the ant, and now I don't have the ant. I had to, I couldn't turn it in. Oh, look at that. Calthea made level 67 provisioner. Very nice. Which one I do need? Nice. Plain gray ant? Yeah, that's, this one is the plain gray ant. Yeah. I see. Oh, yeah, the plain gray ant is the one that you handed to me, but the one I'm actually looking for the quest is the striped red ant. Oh, well, thank you. It's definitely one of the rarer ones, and so you get it, and you go update it with Elowys on the docks when you're on that step, and she will tell you that you're basically it's not a perfect enough ant for her, and so actually in this case, I believe she drops it. So you give her the ant, drops it, she can't find it, and then you say, oh, well, I'll go get you another one. So you actually have to get a second one for her quest line. And then, after you get the second one, she, she will then update. But you still have to get one for yourself so that you have one for your collection. So you end up having to harvest 3 of the strapped red ants if you want to update your collection and also do this quest line. Oh yeah, the palladium clusters. It's not that they're that difficult to find. It's just that you need so many of them. Between your quest update for a strange black rock that you need one for you all, and then the fact that you need them for spells, and then jewelry. So it's can be difficult to get enough of those. Yeah. You're on your warlock, but you mentioned that you mentioned that you also had a necromancer. So both of those will be using palladium. Also, if anybody's looking for the old hermit, an elderly hermit, for I think it's for the quest Where Will This Lead Me, possibly. He's currently standing on this side of the wall on the let's see, on the northeast side of the wall, outside of Barsoon. He can spawn in a few different places. They're all near the ruins of Barsoon, but that's where he is at the moment. Ah, here we go. Another shiny. I was just catching up on the guild chat. Spotted green ant, so close and yet so far away. Well, thank you. I think I've forgotten about I don't know, at least twice what I know about this game. I had a bit of a hiatus for a couple of years where I was just logging in occasionally just to kind of maintain, keep the guild hall and live paid and things like that, and not really actually playing at all. And during that time, I definitely forgot a lot of things along the way. One of the main things is names of things, names of places, names of people. For the most part, I can remember at least something about every quest and every area, but I'm just not where I once was, I can say that. Yeah, the HQs are a good one to remember. Actually, it can be difficult for some of them because they have some complicated steps to them occasionally. I think the hardest part of a few of the HQs is remembering how to unlock all the doors in Nek Castle. That can be a bit complicated to do in one run. If you're going to run Nek Castle a few different times to unlock it, then that's not as problematic. But if you're trying to do it in one run, it can, if you mess up, then you can break the whole unlock method. Oh, you did Nek Castle yesterday? I don't envy you. There's some fun to be had there for sure, but it's also definitely, like I said, just mainly unlocking everything that you need to unlock without killing the wrong thing at the wrong time. 3 hours honestly isn't that bad. If you did the whole thing and unlocked everything in 3 hours, that's pretty good. Oh, 3/4 of it. Well, okay. Now I understand. I need to pick up some of those scrying stones so that I can do some of these. Some of you may not have seen that before, and I ought to be sure to grab some so that you can. I know that was really vague and I didn't tell you anything about what it was, but that's because I'm going to show you what it is. Well, maybe I'll do that in just a moment. Oh, you got to the cellar? Well, I mean, at that point, you may as well finish, right? One of my guildmates was talking about her recipe books for her crafting, and she's crafting level 67 right now, and was mentioning that her recipe books are sold in the bone mire. So in case some of you don't know, there is a point at which you start getting recipe books, not just at the guy above the crafting instance, but you have to actually go out to different areas to get your books. So. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, if your tank needed to go, then, you know, what can you do? I mean, maybe you could have found a replacement tank, but you may not have been in the right state of mind after 3 hours to want to search for one, and then also they would have missed out the first 3/4 of the zone. May not have been the best deal for them either, so. What's the lockout timer on that zone right now, do you know? Like, the failure lockout. Oh, let's see, if you press Alt-Z, then you go to the tab that says lockout down here. It should tell you how much time you have left on it. Of course, you may not be on that character, so I completely understand if not. Just thought you might know. Know that the lockout on Tomb of Valor right now is 18 hours for failure and 3 days for success. I believe that's right. Oh, I see. Yeah, you must have some different keyboard layout than I do. I just went with the default EQ2 keyboard layout, and that's Alt-Z. Alright, so if you did it last night, then you have 17 hours and 5 minutes remaining. Now, you said you're in Europe, so by last night, do you mean like very recently. Okay, I see. 24 hours. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. It could be a lot worse. It's kind of interesting that there's not really a Nek Castle equivalent in Thundering Steps. They had been sort of going neck and neck. Evil gets this, good gets that, and it's the same kind of zone on the opposite side as you would get. You know, if you got something for the good side, you'd essentially get the same thing for the bad side. And then it gets up to Nek Castle, and Nek Castle is kind of an instance with a lockout timer on it that is not mirrored on the good side. I think I'll pop into the guild voice just in case they are speaking aloud. I don't know that they are. Probably not. And it was a dream anyway because I switched to guild and I see nothing. Alrighty, ShadowsRat. You know what's funny? I've been sitting here gathering. I made this whole harvesting suit and then I failed to put it on. There we go. Now we'll harvest a little bit faster, 0.5 seconds per click, basically. Definitely adds up pretty fast when you're doing very much harvesting. Armor sets are definitely one of the things that they implemented on live that I think is very useful and that would have been nice to have from the beginning of the game. I've also noticed something else that I haven't utilized yet, and that is notes on your quests. How amazing is that? Notes are awesome. I've not used them. I look forward to the first time that I remember to do so, because sometimes it can be very helpful, or it could be very helpful, I think, to have a note about exactly what's going on, or it could even be like, hey, my friend is on this step and I need to wait before I continue along this this quest line. So it could be something like that, or it could be something like, oh, this NPC is at this location, just as kind of a reminder for yourself, so you can more easily update, especially when you have a quest where the NPC may move from one position to the other, and so you may know that, hey, this guy just moved over to this other area, and then you can remind yourself in there, this is where he's at right now. I'm kind of just cherry picking these harvests at the moment. Normally not very into that, but right now that's what I'm doing because I don't feel like I have a lot of room in my bags to mess around with because I may go out adventuring before I go back to town. So just not really willing to fill the bags up with a variety of harvests. Kind of sticking to rocks and roots at the moment. I'm tempted to try turning my graphics up to balanced for this, but I also feel that my laptop is already quite warm and probably would not appreciate um, any sort of boost in graphics. So I suppose I won't. I personally don't have a lot of interest in the graphics, but I know that a lot of people do, and so I would like to be able to give you the kind of viewer experience that you would like to have. But alas, I cannot do that right now. Sometime soon, I will look for a laptop plug that can charge the other laptop that I have access to that has no plug. And then maybe I can manage to get a computer that's more designed for things like gaming and streaming than this this little HP that I'm currently, you know, trying to make the game function. That being said, this is currently set in around, I think, the 2007 time period. And I can tell you that during 2007, I was running on a much, 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 much worse machine. The amount of lag was unbelievable. And that was running on, what I would do is I would turn it down to extreme performance, and then I would change it to worse performance than that. So turn down the performance of extreme performance, and that was the only way I was able to play the game at the time. So I'm not in that kind of dire straits, at least. Now, I saw that we completed a goal of getting 20 followers earlier. Congratulations, everyone. You did a great job. What I don't know is how to make it notify me of such things when it happens. I didn't get any kind of message. Thought maybe something would appear in chat, or maybe a pop-up or some kind of a message that I would see when we hit a goal. But that is not the way that went. Maybe if I had a second monitor, then I could have seen on the second monitor. I don't know, maybe there's a, maybe there would have been something that pops up on the viewing screen, but I don't have a second monitor. I'm currently using a phone that I have on the chat screen, combined with my laptop where I'm playing the game. So the chat window is underneath the video that's streaming. So while I can see the video, I see it very poorly, and I cannot really, if there's any kind of pop-up that I'm supposed to see on there, I'm not very likely to actually see it. So you know, that's the situation I'm in at the moment. I don't know if there's any way to make a sound happen, or something like that, you know, an audible ding or something like that when an event like that happens. But certainly I don't know how to do it, if that's something that can be done. At any rate, I do want to try to find some way to make things like that more noticeable for me. The goals that I set were kind of a test to see how it went. Because I don't. Again, I'm learning. I don't know anything. I'm new to this whole thing, so it's been a learning experience, and you know, I'm just kind of feeling along in the dark. You know, I'm just kind of have my hands out, and I'm like, what is this? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the right door. Who knows? So that's the way this is going. Stumbling around. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I trip over something. Sometimes I don't. I think that I did manage to put the goal up in the upper right corner there. I don't know if it looks on my screen like it's visible on my little phone. I think I see it up there, but so hopefully it's functioning properly. But I'm slowly figuring it out. I do want to at some point get like a streaming soon thing that'll count down. Maybe something like that. And like an end screen, you know, logging off, whatever. And that would be kind of cool. And I would really like, say, an AFK screen. I think maybe I know how to do that, possibly. If I just have to do a little experimentation, and I think maybe I can figure that out. But that's some goals I'm working on very, very slowly. And I'm going to go in amongst these terrible flying death up here, but I'm going to sneak my way through it. The goal being to try to find, well, the goal just changed. The goal was to try to find a shiny in here, but now I've got this nice island lying club, so gotta get that. Oh man, now I need to fish. Easy peasy, it's right over here. Interesting. Right as I swam toward it, the mobs of fish disappeared. And not the way it goes. It's alright though. There should be plenty of fish in the sea. What we don't want is to antagonize those sirens out there, or those tide-act octopi. Man, all of the mobs of fish in the world have disappeared. I think it happened right as I was swimming to them. They're like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. No fishing for you. Huh, it's incredible. Nothing. Interesting. Well, alright then. If that's the way it is, I guess that's the way it is. Let's get this for fun instead. Gotta go check again. Are there any fish in here really though? No, there just aren't. There we go. Come get this stone crest ore over here. That's like a mob of fish, right? Make sure there aren't any mobs of fish hanging out over here somewhere. Doesn't look promising, gotta tell you. Nothing. There is a centaur captain fellow who roams around in those woods over there to the southeast, and he's just absolutely. I mean, that guy hits hard. If you get into a fight with him, I mean, he really knows how to bash. So it's a good thing that he's not aggro unless you have lost your faction with the centaurs. The only way to lose your faction with the centaurs is by killing them. And you have to kill a good number of them without killing the gnolls in this area to counteract that. Because if you kill a gnoll, you decrease your faction with the gnolls, but you increase your faction with the centaurs. So with centaur, you increase your faction with nothing, and you decrease your faction with centaurs, obviously. So, not recommended to just go slaying the centaurs willy-nilly. It's my 2 cents on that. No willy-nilly centaur slaying. Sometimes you need them for some quest updates. A lot of times you can get multiple of those updates with one kill, because a lot of the centaur hunting type quests just say things like slay some centaurs. And so any centaur will do. Now, there are some that are like slay a stone hoof hunter. Okay, so now in that case, you actually do need to go kill that specific kind of centaur. And that's, you get a quest like that, then you go do centaur killing quests, and you don't really put your faction rating in too much danger when you're getting multiple updates for centaur killing from one single kill. What I'm having a lot of trouble running across are shinies, which of course is a common malady in this game. They're few and far between, and that's, that's how the design is. And when you get them, it's, good old RNG back at work again. Well, it is past 5 p.m. here, and I'm going to have to take another bit of a break for a while. So I'm going to finish this up, get somewhere a little bit safer. I think I'm going to head toward Thundermist Village. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go back to the woods behind me. That's a nice place to camp out. And I think it's kind of more in the area where I want to be when I log back in. So I'll come over here and I will camp out near this tree within a tree, beyond the wheeled wolves, and then I will go and I think I'll go and have some supper and hang out with my family and friends for a while, do that whole socialization thing, and then I am sure that I will be back probably this evening. In fact, we will camp out directly beside the tree within a tree, because hey, you may need to know where it is. It is right here, and as you can see, it's a tree within a tree. Get you a better angle on that. It's like a dead tree that a live tree has grown out of. There you go. A little tidbit of EQ2 for you. All right, I'm going to take off. Look at this. My goodness, 99.9. I'm definitely going to level the next time that I get in here. For now, I'm going to take off. I'll see you later. Have a good day, and goodbye.